I need to say this clearly. We did not plan a murder. We never saw it coming. We never meant it, but we killed him. A lonely, poor man. Yes, we did. We never planned it, but the situation presented itself, and we acted on it. We are as innocent as much as we are guilty. That sentence is important, because it's the lie we all hide behind. It happened on a Tuesday. Not a riot, not a war, not chaos. Just traffic, just heat, impatience. The kind of night you forget unless it ruins you. There were 4 of us in the car. Co-workers. Same office. Same frustrations. We had just left late. Deadlines missed. Boss angry. Everyone was quiet. Then we took a stop to relax until the traffic was nowhere. That silence mattered. The road was dark. Streetlights half working. Potholes memorized by regulars. He stepped out suddenly. A man, mid-30s maybe. Reflective vest, holding a phone. There was a sound I still can't unhear. Not loud. Dull. Like something important breaking. The car stopped. Nobody screamed. Nobody prayed. We just sat there, looking. The man wasn't dead immediately. That's the part that will follow me forever. He was breathing, struggling, alive enough to suffer. Someone whispered, "Call an ambulance." Someone else said, "Wait." That word, "wait," did more damage than the car. You see, this is where the crime begins, not with impact, with delay. Phones came out, not to call emergency, to check surroundings, cameras, houses, security lights. Someone said, "If police come now, our lives are finished." Another said, "It was an accident." That word again, accident, it softens things. The man made a sound, weak, human, and here is the most shameful truth of my life. I was afraid he would survive, because survivors talk. Minutes passed, long minutes, the kind that feel short when you want them gone. Then the breathing stopped, quietly, like he decided for us. No one said he's dead. We didn't need to. We all knew. This is where most people think the story becomes unbelievable. But listen carefully. Nobody suggested dumping the body. Nobody suggested running. We did something worse. We agreed on a story. We moved him slightly. Not much, just enough to look different. Someone cleaned the bumper. Someone wiped the phone that fell from his hand. Someone said, "Leave the vest." Evidence isn't just what you hide, it's what you arrange. When the police arrived later, after an anonymous call, we were calm, shaken, but calm. We said, "He ran into the road." And the thing about lies told together is this: they sound confident. That word protected us. I went home that night, showered, ate, slept. I'd just call it that, but my mind was wide awake. And that's when I understood the real crime. The world doesn't end when someone dies. It just keeps going for the people who caused it. The next morning, his face was online, name released, family asking questions, a picture of him smiling, alive, before us. I stared at that photo longer than I should have, not because I was sad, but because I was calculating how far this could still reach me. Here's what nobody tells you. Guilt is loud at first, then it becomes background noise. bills still came, work continued, jokes returned, and the silence between us in the office became permanent. We never spoke about it again. That's how crimes survive, not through violence, through agreement. If you think this story is extreme, you're lying to yourself, because somewhere, right now, someone is choosing not to call for help because the consequences feel heavier than a life. Listen to me while I take you through the story of my life. Maybe, just maybe, you'd learn from me.
That night, we went to the police station. We didn't run. We didn't disappear. We sat on hard benches under fluorescent lights and wrote our statements, carefully, together. The officer asked questions in a tired voice. What happened? Where were you coming from? Did you see him before the impact? We said the same thing, not just because we rehearsed, but because fear has a way of synchronizing people. For 2 days, nothing happened, and I made the mistake of thinking maybe this would just pass. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. I wish I hadn't. The voice on the other end was calm, too calm. He said my name, correctly. Then he said, I saw what really happened. Minutes passed, long minutes. The man wasn't dead immediately. That's the part that will follow me forever. He was breathing, struggling, alive enough to suffer. Then he said he was going to the police tomorrow. Together with the others, we met that evening, all of us. No greetings, no pretending, just silence and eyes that wouldn't meet. Someone said, we can't let this happen. Someone else said, he'll destroy all of us. And someone, I won't say who, said, we just need to make him comfortable. Nobody said the word bribe. We didn't need to. We counted money like criminals who still wanted to believe they weren't. Savings, emergency funds, money meant for rent, for school, for parents. Each note felt heavier than it should have. Then we arranged a meeting with the witness. When the witness took the envelope, he said something I still hear clearly. I didn't see anything. The police called a week later. They wanted follow-up statements. They said someone had come forward and then changed their mind. They said inconsistencies happen. Eventually, the calls stopped. Not officially, just practically. Things went normal. At work, people said I looked fine, still sharp, still reliable. They were wrong. I stared at my screen for long minutes without reading a word. My heart raced all day. I missed deadlines and blamed network issues. I forgot conversations and laughed it off. Inside, everything was loud. Paying that witness didn't make me feel evil at first. It made me feel safe and secure, and that realization hurt more than guilt. I thought I was the only one sinking. I thought I was the only wrecking ball amongst us, so I decided to go with the tide. I decided to act strong and be the man others are. So I acted undisturbed. I remained busy and calm and fulfilled on the outside, but inside me was a storm I didn't know how to calm. I stayed quiet. But Daniel was the one who broke first. Not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. He called us after the day's activities were over. He was really broken, just as I was. But unlike me, Daniel couldn't hold it together. It happened on a Thursday. A football game was mentioned in the office. Arsenal versus Manchester United. A conversation meant for fun, But Daniel froze. Just like me, he contributed nothing to the conversation, and all we shared was brief eye contact. He asked us to meet. Quiet place, neutral. He didn't sit, hands shaking, eyes red. He said, "I can't do this anymore." He started talking too fast, words piling over each other. He muttered, "We were distracted. We were arguing, shouting about that stupid match. We weren't watching the road. We killed that man through negligence, through carelessness, through stupidity. We watched him died. If you all had agreed to calling an ambulance, if I had gone ahead to call for help, he would be alive. We all killed him. We are all murderers. We all deserve to be punished. We don't deserve this freedom." He wanted to tell the truth, all of it. The argument, the distraction, the delay, the waiting. "I want to go to the police," he said. The room changed. Not fear, calculation. One of us spoke in a calm voice. "If you do that, we're done." Another, "We'll tell them you were drunk and you drove the car." Daniel was shocked. "I wasn't drunk." Then he added, "It was your car, Daniel." Daniel said, "But I wasn't driving." They both shrugged. "That's not how it'll sound. It's your words against ours." Daniel's shoulders collapsed piece by piece. He looked at me, hoping I'd save him. I was quiet. I looked away. And that evening, we all went out various ways, disappointed. Daniel was shattered, maybe a little more than I was. He stopped joking, stopped correcting people, stopped caring if meetings went well. He stopped greeting us. The guilt now burns more than before. He went invisible. A man who once argued passionately now nodded at everything. I watched him burn, quietly, daily, without smoke.
Rumors leaked from the witness. He never spoke to the police, but he didn't keep his mouth shut. Gossip reached others. Stories don't need facts, they just need shapes. A car, a delay, men standing instead of helping. Too specific to be made up. The witness had disclosed what actually happened to a friend, and just that way, the gossip was peddled around. The family of the dead man decided not to push further, as police told them they have no evidence to hold these men down, considering the fact that the dead man had once attempted to take his life when his business went bankrupt 2 years ago. But then, the police came back. Not officially. Soft questions. Observation is dangerous. Daniel knew before the rest of us. He told us quietly, "They're circling back." Then Daniel was called in alone. It wasn't an arrest, just an invitation. They asked about the night again, the argument, the match, and if they had taken alcohol. But he held on to their initial story. He didn't flinch. The realization that we would go against him made him repeat the same lies we had agreed on when the accident occurred. He walked out free. But he understood the final truth. He can't live with the lies, and he was the backup plan. Always had been. 2 weeks later, Daniel didn't come to work. No call. HR email. Daniel will be taking an indefinite leave. I tried reaching out to him but couldn't. Weeks later, we learned he had crashed his car. No other vehicle involved. No witnesses. Accident. Suicide implied. Then I found myself sinking down in a pool of tears. At the funeral, people said he was quiet, he was stressed, he worked too hard. Even others implied he had ended his life because he took a loan that he hadn't been able to pay. No one said he was carrying 4 men's guilt. Justice arrived, just not for the right person. Within a month, it was like he had never been there, except to me.
Life continued, but not for me. Mine stopped. People pretended nothing happened. I was suffocating. Every single breath I take chokes me. I was a shadow of myself. Every single night I see nothing but Daniel, how he walked into the office as an intern, how he gradually worked so hard and became part of the system, how enthusiastic he was, and how he'd always defended his truth. Lastly, how our one-time reckless action sent him to his early grave. It kills me. And I asked myself, how do I erase these thoughts? How do I live with it? What do I do next? Whom should I talk to? I have no one to turn to, not even God, because he won't listen to me. I am a murderer. I surf the net all nights. During the day, I buried myself in work, one that I did with lack of concentration. At work, huge mistakes crept into my work. Missed deadlines, forgotten conversations, false laughs. Sleep never came. The moment I tried to force it, nightmares drives me back to life. Nothing good happened after Daniel left. Every day I wake up disappointed that reality hadn't corrected itself, carrying about feelings of emptiness and guilt. Well, for me, living long enough to understand what you allowed to happen, that was my sentence. I sat at my desk, watching everyone else live their ordinary lives while I carried the unseen consequences. Every step outside, every phone notification reminded me. Silence is a sentence. Shared crimes don't bond people, they isolate them. Out of guilt, I went to his family house to pay my last respect, thinking it would ease my burden, but it never did. It got worse, seeing his mother cry profusely, refusing to take consolation, his siblings sitting and watching helplessly, learning he was their breadwinner since his father died. That did something to me. I couldn't stay for long. I left with a determination. If it means taking the fall, I am ready to do it, because at this point, I am better dead than alive. I can't do this anymore. This is not living.
I waited too long. Years too long. And now I carry it with me every day. I went to the police, not because I wanted absolution, not because I expected mercy. I went because I could no longer carry the weight of silence and lies. I told them everything. The argument about the football match, the shouting, the carelessness, the waiting, the bribe. I told them how we did nothing and how we arranged silence. The witness we bribed, he was called in. The men in the car, all 4 of us. It didn't matter who was driving. It didn't matter who owned the vehicle. The truth collapsed over all of us. We deserved what came next. 14 years. 14 years for negligence. 14 years for bribery. 14 years for covering up a death we could have prevented. I can't describe the relief.
because it was mixed with pain, because I realized too late. If I had spoken the truth the first night, Daniel would be alive. Our sentences would have been lighter, and some part of us would have remained unbroken. Instead, we panicked. We lied. We carried the lie together, and the lie killed him too. I lost Daniel. We lost our freedom. We lost our integrity. And we spent years pretending that life outside prison was the same as life inside it. People ask me why I speak now, why I tell the story. I speak because this is what truth looks like when it finally arrives. It's not dramatic. It's not easy. It doesn't fix what's broken. It just demands recognition. I speak because I want anyone listening to learn before it's too late. Truth matters, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's scary, even when the people around you panic. Because lies, they multiply. They hurt more people than you ever imagine. And they leave bodies in their wake. Some alive, some dead. I could have saved Daniel. I could have saved myself from 14 good years. I could have preserved some shred of dignity. But I didn't. So I tell you now. Say what happened. Say it when it matters. Do not bribe. Do not cover up. Do not panic. Because silence can kill. And lies carry a price far higher than money or fear. I'm speaking this from a painful place in my heart. And a freedom I no longer feel. This is my regret. My warning. My confession. Daniel's death. Our prison. Our shattered lives. It was all preventable. And it started the moment we chose silence over truth. Remember this. Courage is not just acting boldly. Courage is telling the truth when everyone else is panicking. This is what I should have said years ago. This is the story I wish I'd told before it was too late.